Vaginal fat or vaginal flatulence. Girl, a lot of women have actually experienced this, whole thing before. I mean, imagine being in this intense love making. Okay, you guys are so engulfed in this passionate, intimate moment. Probably you guys are in a doggy sex position or maybe a cowgirl sex position, and you guys have your eyes locked like that, and you guys are just chilling. And then, just when everything is going on so amazingly well, you hear a sound just like this. Most of the time you listen to this whole awkward experience, like both of you are trying to pretend as if nothing happened, but then the lady's probably saying in her head, did I just fart? It sounded like a fart, but it's like it came from my vagina. What is going on? Oh damn, this guy's gonna think I'm farting. Oh, this is so bad, this is so bad. I hope it doesn't smell. Now the guy on the other hand is probably thinking, did this girl just fart? Ha, I'm busy making love to her, and all she could do at this moment is fart. But then it's not smelling, but still she has fat. Why? Well, I'm here to let you know that whatever that happened during that time is not farting because it came from the vagina and it's called quiffing. Good, yeah. So we all know that when you actually fart, like proper farting from the anus, it comes from the anus and it's usually smelling. It smells so bad. But the one that you actually had from the vagina, that sound that came from your vagina, doesn't smell. But then what causes quiffing? You see, you're just a lady, just chilling, just relax, just having like some good time. Now there's air entering your vagina. Now, as the air enters your vagina, it gets trapped in something called the rugae. Basically, it's something like a folds of the vagina, walls and something like that. Now the air gets trapped there, and then maybe you change position or you change your movement, and then the vaginal lips sort of closed. So now the air is trapped there. Now during certain activities, which most commonly during sexual activity, hey, that one when it happens and everything is just going on and there's some kind of pressure at the pelvis and at the abdominal area. Now this air will have to exit, will have to escape from the vagina. So now when it's coming out, the vaginal lips sort of vibrate, and now that's causes that noise that you hear. But then basically there's no big difference between these two noises. Like this noise and this noise, there's basically no difference. But then there's a huge difference between farting and quiffing. Now you see farting, basically like there's gas in the digestive system that has to escape, and it's coming from the anus, and it's usually smelly. It's mostly very, very, very. That is from the anus. But now you see, when it comes to the quiffing, basically it's air that is exiting from the vagina and it has no smell. It's odorless and there's nothing to be bothered or worried about. Okay, so the next time you are quiffing during sexual intercourse, chill, relax, it'll be normal. Okay, now who stand a chance or a risk of actually quiffing? You see, as long as you're a woman and as long as you have a vagina, there is that high probability they're going to quiff at a point in time. Yes. So once you have a vagina, my dear, you go quiff. Hopefully, maybe. Now, as I said earlier on, it's not only during sexual intercourse that can actually make a lady quiff. Yeah. Now, there are certain activities like maybe exercise, like yoga exercise, stretching. Yeah. And maybe you've gone to the hospital for some pelvic examination, a speculum is being inserted into your vagina, maybe you are inserting a tampon into your vagina. Anything like that, stretches the place, makes air enters. The air will have to come out. So during some activities like the things I just mentioned, the air is going to come and it's going to come with that sound, the quiffing sound. Okay, so not only sex, but sex is mostly the time that this quiffing usually happens. Okay, now even though I said that every woman with a vagina can actually quiff, studies have actually shown that there are certain things that sort of increases that probability for you. Okay, now they are saying that when you have a weak pelvic floor, which probably is due to maybe urinary incontinence, maybe multiple childbirth, it sort of increases your probability of quiffing most often. But these studies are sometimes inconclusive, and they are still saying that once you have a vagina, you could quiff. So if maybe after childbirth or you realize that you are quiffing too much, you could try maybe casual, exercise to sort of like reduce the quiffing. But then there is no 100% assurance that you're going to ever stop quiffing. So yeah, quiffing is pretty normal. And as I said, it's not supposed to have any smell. It's not supposed to be painful or anything. Okay. Now, as I said, sex is the most common time that quiffing happens. So now they are saying that, try sex position that does not allow air to enter the place often. But how is that even possible? So they're saying that do missionary sex position, but you can't be doing missionary sex position all the time, girl. There are so many sex positions out there, but then they are saying that doggy sex position, cowgirl sex position, reverse cowgirl sex position. Some of these positions increases that chance of you quiffing. So you shouldn't be doing it. But then what's the fun in sex when you can't do some of these sex positions? My dear, please, quiffing is normal. There's nothing awkward about quiffing. In fact, when you quiff, both of you should laugh over it. Just, have a good time about it and keep on making laugh. But if you are quiffing and then you are suddenly scared, you're suddenly feeling so bad about yourself, girl, you just change, like, you're making the whole experience very awkward. Now, they're also saying that actually, if you should use the lubricant, it sort of reduces that chance, because when you're using a lubricant, the lubricant sort of traps or sort of takes in that air bubbles, and so then it doesn't release, but rather girls get, hey, I just said girls. Now these air bubbles get trapped in this lubricant, so then it reduces that chance of you quiffing. But as I said earlier on, quiffing is a very normal thing. The only time you should be bothered when you are quiffing is when when you quiff, it actually comes with a lot of pain. There is a discharge, and then sometimes it's very smelly. My girl, if that happens to you, better get that man off you, wherever position, whatever level you guys have reached, push him off you, dress and go to the hospital, go see the gynecologist and tell the gynecologist that, was doctor, I quiff and then there was a discharge. I quiff and the kind of smell that came with it, because it could be that you have an infection or a fistula, which basically is an opening between the vagina and the colon, or the vagina and the rectum, and which needs to be treated and it needs medical attention. Other than that, if you are quiffing and there's nothing coming with it, my girl, it is very normal. So the next time you quiff, don't think you've done something bad. Don't think you've messed up the whole sexual experience. Make it fun. Sometimes people need to quiff to make the whole sexual experience more enjoyable. So the next time you quiffing, just tell your baby that, babe, keep making me quiff, yo. I hope today you've learned something. I hope today you've learned that when you're having sex and then there's this sound coming from your vagina, that sounds just like a fart. It's normal and it's called quiffing. But if it has any smell or discharge, you need to go to the hospital. Other than that, my dear, enjoy quiffing. Have a great day and see ya. Subscribe, y'all.